If you're using castor oil on your face, your neck, your hands, or even your hair, this video could save your skin. Because castor oil is powerful. But when it's mixed with the wrong oils, it can quietly do the opposite of what you want. Instead of smoothing wrinkles, it can clog pores, trigger inflammation, dry your skin out, and make fine lines look deeper. And here's the problem. Most videos online tell you what to mix castor oil with. Almost no one tells you what never to mix it with. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 oils you should never combine with castor oil, especially if you have mature skin. And more importantly, I'll explain why, so you don't keep repeating the same mistakes that age skin faster over time. Stay with me, because mistake number 1 is the most common and the most damaging. Castor oil is thick, sticky, highly occlusive. That's exactly what makes it powerful for aging skin. But that same thickness means castor oil behaves very differently from most facial oils, and that difference matters more as we age. After 40, and especially after 50, the skin barrier becomes more fragile. Natural oil production drops. Inflammation rises more easily. So when oils are mixed incorrectly, the issue isn't just that results disappear. It's that the skin can become stressed, congested, or even drier over time. Highly occlusive oils like castor oil can trap whatever is underneath them. If what's underneath isn't supportive for aging skin, the barrier pays the price. This isn't about fear or avoiding castor oil altogether. It's about understanding how oils interact with aging skin chemistry. Once you understand that, castor oil stops being a gamble. It becomes a precise tool you can use intentionally with far better results. Number 1, coconut oil. This one surprises a lot of women because coconut oil is everywhere in DIY skincare. The issue isn't coconut oil by itself. The issue is mixing coconut oil with castor oil, especially on aging skin. Both of these oils are heavy, highly occlusive, and slow to absorb. When you combine them, they create a thick film that sits on top of the skin instead of moving into it. That film can trap things your skin no longer clears easily, like 1. Dead skin cells, 2. Bacteria, 3. Heat. On mature skin, that trapped environment often shows up as congestion, rough texture, and pores that look more noticeable instead of smoother. There's also an inflammation piece here. Low-grade inflammation quietly breaks collagen down over time, and this combination tends to encourage it rather than calm it. Another factor most people don't consider is temperature. Coconut oil solidifies at cooler temperatures. When mixed with castor oil, it can harden slightly on the skin, making the blend sit on the surface instead of absorbing. If your goal is smoother, firmer, more refined-looking skin, this is one combination that works against you, not for you. Number 2, castor oil plus olive oil. This is another very common mistake. On their own, olive oil can be deeply nourishing, and castor oil can be repairing. But together, especially on aging skin, they're often too much of the same thing. Both oils are high in oleic acid. Oleic acid can be beneficial in small amounts, but when it's overused, it can start to disrupt the skin barrier instead of supporting it. In excess, oleic acid can 1. Weaken barrier structure, 2. Increase transepidermal water loss, 3. Make skin feel soft at first, then progressively drier. That initial softness is misleading. It feels comforting, but underneath, the barrier is slowly becoming less stable. This is why some women say, "My skin felt great for a few days and then suddenly worse." That delayed dryness is a red flag, not a coincidence. For aging skin, balance matters more than richness. The goal isn't to pile on heavy oils. It's to support the barrier without overwhelming it. Number 3, essential oils. This one is critical. Castor oil doesn't just sit on the skin. It has the ability to drive other substances deeper into the skin. That includes essential oils. Essential oils are highly concentrated plant compounds. Even oils considered gentle can become irritating when they're pushed too deeply into aging skin. When essential oils are mixed with castor oil, several things can happen. 1. Redness and burning. 2. Barrier disruption that doesn't heal quickly. 3. Long-term sensitivity that wasn't there before. The biggest issue is inflammation. Inflammation is one of the fastest drivers of visible aging because it quietly breaks down collagen and elastin over time. Certain essential oils are especially risky in this combination, including peppermint, tea tree, eucalyptus, cinnamon, and clove. These oils are stimulating by nature. When driven deeper into the skin, that stimulation turns into stress. The danger with this combination is that damage isn't always immediate. It often builds slowly, showing up later as sensitivity, thinning skin, or accelerated aging. This is why castor oil and essential oils should not be mixed together on the face, especially after 40. Number 4, argan oil. Argan oil is often marketed as lightweight and anti-aging. And when it's used on its own, that's true. Argan oil works best when it absorbs quickly. That fast absorption is what allows its antioxidants and fatty acids to actually reach the skin and do their job. The problem starts when argan oil is mixed with castor oil. Castor oil is thick and slow-moving. When you combine the two, castor oil dramatically slows argan oil's absorption. Instead of penetrating, the mixture tends to sit on the surface of the skin. The result looks like this. 1. Antioxidants stay on top instead of reaching skin cells. 2. Skin doesn't receive the protective benefits. 3. The face feels greasy rather than nourished. Instead of synergy, you get stagnation. And for mature skin, absorption speed matters more than people realize. Skin after 40 or 50 doesn't bounce back from buildup the way younger skin does. Argan oil is most effective when it's allowed to move freely into the skin. Mixing it with a heavy occlusive like castor oil takes away the very quality that makes argan oil valuable in the first place. Number 5, jojoba oil. This one confuses a lot of people. Jojoba oil is unique because it closely mimics your skin's natural sebum. That's why it's so good at helping the skin regulate itself. Castor oil is very different. It's thick, highly occlusive, and behaves more like a seal than a signal. When you mix jojoba oil with castor oil, you send conflicting messages to the skin. On one hand, jojoba is telling the skin you're balanced. Regulate normally. On the other hand, castor oil is saying everything is sealed. Stop producing. Over time, the skin can respond by 1. Producing less of its own natural oil. 2. Becoming reliant on heavy occlusion to feel comfortable. 3. Losing resilience and adaptability. This is why some women say their skin starts to feel lazy after months of heavy oil mixing. It's not actually lazy. It's responding to mixed signals. Castor oil should be used as support, not a replacement for your skin's natural function. For mature skin, preserving that natural signaling is just as important as providing moisture. Number 6, rosehip oil. Rosehip oil is often loved for good reason. It's rich in omega fatty acids and natural vitamin A derivatives that support skin renewal and tone. But those benefits come with a downside. Rosehip oil is fragile. Its active compounds oxidize easily, which means they break down when they're not handled carefully. This is where mixing rosehip oil with castor oil becomes a problem. Castor oil is thick and slows oxygen exposure, but it does so unevenly. That uneven sealing can destabilize rosehip oil instead of protecting it. When that happens, a few things can occur. 1. Rosehip oil becomes less effective. 2. Oxidized compounds can irritate the skin. 3. The blend's shelf life shortens significantly. On mature skin, that instability matters. Aging skin is less forgiving of partially oxidized oils and more prone to inflammation when exposed to them. This is why rosehip oil works best when it's used on its own or in a well-formulated product designed to protect it. If you love rosehip oil, keep it separate. Use it alone or at a different time of day than castor oil, so it can actually deliver the benefits it's known for. Number 7, grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is often recommended because it feels light, fast-absorbing, and clean on the skin. It has mild astringent properties, which means it tightens and refines the surface quickly. On its own, that can feel nice. Castor oil, however, behaves very differently. It's thick, slow to absorb, and highly occlusive. It seals the skin rather than moving through it. When these two oils are mixed, they create a push-pull dynamic that aging skin struggles with. Grapeseed oil absorbs rapidly and can pull moisture from the upper layers of the skin. Castor oil then seals over what's left, trapping dryness underneath a heavy layer. At first, the skin may look smooth or shiny, but over time, this combination often leads to 1. Gradual dehydration beneath the surface. 2. Fine lines appearing sharper instead of softer. 3. Skin feeling tight, but still looking oily. That tight underoil feeling is a warning sign. It means the skin barrier is confused, not supported. For mature skin, this matters because dehydration is one of the fastest ways lines deepen and texture worsens. Aging skin doesn't recover from mixed signals the way younger skin does. Instead of calming the skin, this combination keeps it in a constant state of adjustment. And constant adjustment leads to stress. Grapeseed oil works best when it's allowed to absorb fully and do its job quickly. Castor oil works best when it's used sparingly as a targeted seal. When you mix them together, you lose the benefit of both. This is another example of why, with aging skin, clarity beats complexity every time. Castor oil can be incredibly effective when it's used the right way. It works best alone, or lightly diluted with water or pure aloe vera gel. This keeps it from overwhelming the skin while still allowing it to do its job. The key is amount. Castor oil should always be applied sparingly. A few drops are enough for the entire face. Always apply it to damp skin, never dry. Damp skin provides the hydration castor oil needs to seal in. This is also why nighttime use works best. At night, the skin focuses on repair, and castor oil helps protect that process instead of interfering with it. The most important thing to remember is this. 1. Castor oil is a seal, not a moisturizer. 2. It doesn't add hydration. 3. It locks in what's already there. If there's no hydration underneath, it locks in dryness. And that's where people go wrong. Keep it simple. Hydrate first. Seal gently. When used this way, castor oil supports aging skin instead of stressing it. Castor oil can either soften your skin or slowly age it. The difference is knowledge. If this video helped you avoid a mistake, like it, subscribe, and share it with another woman who's trying everything but seeing no results. And tell me in the comments, which oil were you mixing with castor oil before watching this? Your skin is not broken. It just needs fewer battles and better choices.